Hi guys, before I talk about what this video is about, I want to formally introduce my baby. Her name is Sushi. We adopted her from a shelter in August. If you don't follow my social media, you wouldn't have known about her. But she is a joy to my life, and I just wanted to share her really quick. She's being real grumpy right now because I just woke her up to show her to you guys, but she's mad. I'm just gonna put her down, but I just wanted to share her. So if you guys have been wondering where I've been as a hiatus for like 6 months, I'm just gonna briefly go over it and then I will just get on to what this video is actually about. So my self-esteem has been at an all-time low and my weight is at an all-time high. So I have not been taking selfies, I have been not doing anything with fashion, I have not been taking any videos because I just don't feel very good. Hi Sushi. Oh, you got scared. You got so scared. So I have just been out and I've always been thinking about making a video, and now that YouTube is doing this whole thing now, I thought that I would try to come back and give it one last go before I lose my partnership. So hopefully this is me making a video and then just, you know, continuing to make videos like I used to, because I've had my partnership since 2012 and to lose it would be really awful. I mean, like, I know I haven't been here, but to lose what I built and everything like that, it would just suck a lot. So if you know all about the demonetization and the de-partnership and all of that kind of stuff, then you know how much it sucks. I think that the next video I'm going to make is going to be like shouting out and sharing with you guys smaller YouTubers that this whole big change will affect as well, because I've been wanting to make a video about like my favorite YouTubers, but of all the times to talk about YouTubers, I think it's most important to help those out that are underneath the 4,000 hour threshold and underneath the 1,000 subscriber threshold. So hopefully we can bring each other up and it'll be a good time and we won't be crying come February 20th, you know? Yeah? Okay. So, also, I feel like this is a really like YouTuber thing, but before I continue, my links will be down below on my social media, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Facebook, and I'll also put my Redbubble down there. Since we're talking about graphic design, I have a Redbubble where I have my designs, and I post them there where you can buy on like shirts and like stickers and pillows and all that kind of stuff. I've been promoting that a lot because all the sales are going towards my student debt. I have $24,000 in debt from school, which I'm going to talk about school and stuff right now. So if you want to buy something while also helping me out, that would be awesome. I can't say that I'm a professional at all whatsoever. I'm just going to talk about my experience, and then if you are in school, graduating, just graduated, whatever, hopefully the tips that I will give at the end of this video will help you out. And if it helps you, if it changes your thinking at all whatsoever, then please come down below and tell me. Right now making a video is really hard. Putting myself out there when I really don't want to kind of sucks right now, but I'm pushing myself to make this video. So if it helps you, please tell me, because it will make me feel a little bit better. Because I'm on my shell right now and I don't like it. Okay, so I'm going to talk about my experience with school, and then I will move on chronologically and then into the tips, whatever. So I went to a liberal arts college. I could not afford the Chicago Academy of Art. That was like $80,000, and I don't actually live in the state of Illinois, so that wasn't going to happen, even though 17-year-old me was like, yeah, I'm totally going to art school, but it didn't happen. So I just graduated with a BS in psychology and a BA in graphic design. I have the BS in psychology because when I first started college, I thought I'm never going to be able to do it, I'm never going to be able to make money from it. So I only had art as a minor until I picked it up and started finishing it all my last 2 years of college. So it was really hard to juggle both. Would not recommend it, and it was not very good for my mental health or my self-esteem trying to pass all of my classes that did not cross over whatsoever. So would not recommend, but I'm here and I'm still alive, so I guess that's something, you know? So while I was in school, I got really lucky because my school has one open position for a graphic designer to work in the marketing department for the school. So I was lucky enough to snag that position in 2016, and so I worked there for like 9 months, and it was a really great opportunity because I got to work with all of the people in the marketing department, and so I learned so much. And it was great because when I got that position, I didn't have a Mac, which I do now. I recommend Mac. And I didn't have the Adobe programs, which I got after I got the Mac and stuff like that. But I digress. So it was a wonderful time. It was a wonderful amount of experience that I got. I got to make different social media posts. I got to make different flyers for like plays and things like that. It was really great. A lot of the things that are like the school's image and things like that I got to make, or I got to watch, be seen, or I got to be a part of, whatever. That was really cool. I liked that position a lot. I really liked my boss. That was awesome. Overlapping that, I got 2 different internships for 2 different galleries downtown. So like some days I would be at one and then other days I'd be at the other. I got dual experience working for 2 different companies at the same time and seeing how they run. So they're both art galleries, and they were both non-for-profit. So all of the print materials, all of the things that I made went towards their events that they were doing to raise money for like their sponsors and their sponsorships, partnerships, like all those kinds of events that they were doing to raise money. Like one of them had a play that I made, invitations, flyers, cards, and something else, but it was a whole like campaign, I would use for the lack of a better word, and that went all out. Everything looked the same. It was cohesive, you know, and tickets. I made tickets. That was the other thing I made. Everything looked the same. It was pretty cool. And that was for the play to raise money for a new statue that was going downtown. So those 2 internships were pretty cool because I got to go to the different gallery openings and like I took pictures and things like that. That was really cool. And they didn't require a lot of my time because I was double majoring and I also had a job on top of that. So I think that internships are really important. My school required that I did an internship in order to graduate. Not all programs are like that, but I really recommend, and that will be in the tips at the end, that you get an internship while you are in school. So then after that, I got really lucky and I got a paid internship right out of school, because I knew that after I graduated I didn't really want to get into a job because I was like, I'm not good enough. I'm not gonna get a real job. So I got a paid internship, which was amazing because I got a week off of school and then I went straight into my internship. So that internship was awesome. The title was marketing intern, but I did all of the graphic design and worked alongside a other intern who did all of the writing. So we were like a duo, and which was really cool because I'd make the creative content, the visuals, and then she would write everything that went with it. So that company was a mental health company, you know, like therapists and things like that, which was really cool because I got a psych degree. And then they had a sister company, which is like a new business that they have going, you know, like physical health, so like dentists and doctors and things. So I got to do 2 separate brands while I was doing that internship. So that was pretty cool because one had blues and purples and the other one had green and pink as their colors for like logos and stuff, so that was a lot of fun. I really liked that internship a lot because I really liked working with the marketing team, and I must sound crazy for this, but I really liked having a director over me who told me to like keep changing something I was working on. So whatever I started with looked completely different than with what I ended with, but what I ended with was so much better than what I started with because there were all these different revisions. My camera just stopped recording on me, but anyways, so I really liked that. I worked there for about 4 months and then I got lucky again. Honestly, I'm just gonna call this all luck because I'd like to say that my portfolio is the reason why I've gotten work after work, but like honestly it's probably just luck. But The Friday I was done the Monday after I had the job that I'm working at now. And so the job I work at now, I work as the in-house graphic designer, and then with my job now I work for, technically I work for one company, but there's 3 sister companies, so I have to do 3 separate kinds of designs because each one has its own individual brand. So that's interesting, trying to keep on top of all of those. The companies are all for recovery and addiction, so it's kind of the same as I did beforehand, where it was like mental health and then like physical health, but now it's like addiction and recovery. So, which is also really interesting with my psychology degree. So that's about it for my creative path, I think, up till now. I've been working at my current job for about 6 months now. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna move on to the tips now. So I would recommend as my first tip to get a computer and get the programs that you're going to use as soon as possible. I didn't have a computer and I didn't have the programs until my junior year, late junior year I think, and so before that I just had the Mac lab, and it was really annoying because you can only go in when the Mac lab is open. So I used my student loans to buy my computer, and so I would recommend that as soon as possible because you are able to learn so much more when you have your own time to be able to do everything. Like, you don't get everything out of it if you are going to a Mac lab or borrowing a computer or whatever. The second tip is that you won't learn everything in school. If you rely on your teachers to tell you every single thing that you're going to learn, you're just not going to know enough. I don't feel like, and I'm not bashing on my professors or anything at all whatsoever, but I don't feel like I learned a whole lot while I was in school. I feel like I learned the most by watching videos and literally just doing my own like art on the side. Building on that, find your specialty, you know? You can't just like be a beginner in typography, illustration, layout, web design, photography, like all those things. I was watching this video, if I can remember it, I'll link it down below, where they were talking about resumes and portfolios, and they said that you want to be like a T. Okay, so like you have all these, like, I should do it on the side. You have all of these different things where you are, you know, a beginner at, but then the T should be what you're really great at, and build on that, because no one wants to hire someone who is just like a beginner at everything. Like, they want someone for their specialty. Me, for example, I would say that my specialty would be illustration or like logo, like vector designs like that, because that's what I like to do, that's what I work on the most. That's where I spend the most of my time doing, but I've been spending a lot more time looking at typography, and so I'd really like to branch my T out to be like 2 different T's, you know? So that's like a really important thing. You don't want to be a beginner at everything. Number 3 I have on here is practice every day, but like, you know, like that's the thing, like just do it every single day, even if it's just like a doodle a day. Like, I liked doing Inktober because it really pushed me to have to do something every single day, and if I didn't do it on one day, then I had like 2 or 3 drawings that I tried to do, which I failed miserably. I did not be able to complete it, but having a prompt like that was really helpful because I did try to push myself to do try to do something every day. Another thing that you can do early on is to make a website, and it's pretty easy. If you have Adobe, you can do a website through them called, I think it's myportfolio.com. That's what I used when I first started. I think I used like, I don't even know. I used something where it was like, it wasn't all that great, versus now it's connected to my Adobe and all of that. And then I have my domain from GoDaddy, I think, and I paid like $1 for that for a whole year. Having your own domain will make you stand out a little bit more instead of having like myportfolio.emma.blah.com. Like, it's so much easier, so much better, so much more professional, especially if you can get it for $1 for a whole year. Like, that's pretty awesome. Kind of moving fluidly through that, when you have your website, make a portfolio. Even if it's just like 5 different things. Like, pretend like if you have a portfolio today, you have an interview tomorrow. Like, have something to show. And like, the great thing about having that is it changes all of the time. I'll go back and I'll look at it and I'll be like, okay, I don't really like this piece anymore, I'm gonna take this out, and then I made this recently and I like it, so I'm gonna put that in. And so it just kind of rotates and you get to update it as you go through making things. So your portfolio is going to be different. You're going to make it differently. Like I have my portfolio on my website, and then I have a tangible portfolio. So you might go through and make it differently each time, but each time you make it better. The very first website I made looks awful, and then the website I have right now looks so much better. So I would say make those things as soon as possible, so you can go through those different steps of, oh, if I do this it'll look better, and if I do this it'll look better, and you'll have more time to, like, you know, think about it and look at other pieces and things like that. So I don't know, basically the sooner you do it, the better it will be in time, because you'll have it to keep looking at, you know. I wrote down everything you make, work on it like thousands will see it, and make it like it's gonna go in your portfolio, like kind of like I just said, like pretend like you'll have an interview tomorrow with your portfolio. So like make things that basically that you're proud of, you know what I mean? Like not everything has to be a work of art, but like, you know, just like push yourself. Like one thing that really pushed me, and I forgot to say it while I was doing school, talking about school, is I had an art gallery at the end of the year. In order to graduate, I had to have this whole gallery, and I did a video on it. I'll link it right here or something, I don't know. So I had a gallery and I had all of my work, so I had to really push myself to have enough work. So like, you know, make your work as if you're gonna have something like that. Like make it, you know, you're going to share it, if that all makes sense at all whatsoever. I think that was just a big cluster F. One of the biggest things, the way I learned the most, was looking at videos. I'm gonna link some down below, but if you just Google like graphic design, or if you go on YouTube, like graphic design, illustration, graphic design, painting, graphic design, logos, like whatever you're actually interested in learning, watch all those. The way that people do their own processes might be different than yours, and you'll pick stuff up. You'll learn how to do things. My camera stopped again. You'll learn how to do things faster, and you'll learn how to do things differently, and in turn you'll be a better designer, because you'll see all these different ways on how to do things, and it'll really change your thinking about how to do stuff and how to use your programs. And then going off of that one is to make a LinkedIn, make it super professional, add all of your stuff to it, make connections, do all of that. Use LinkedIn as much as you can, fully optimize it to like as if you were using Facebook, you know, but like on a professional level. So like my LinkedIn, I have everything filled out, I have all of my experience on there, I have my resume, I have my website, I have like 300 connections on there. Like it's super duper professional. And then when I make new work, I post it on there with like relevant hashtags, and I say something like super businessy, you know, like how's the weather? No, I'm just kidding, but like, you know, something like that, where I can like, I'm marketing myself out there, and I'm just like showing my work off, you know, professionally, like this is what I have done. And I'm not like trying to sell myself or anything like that, but I'm just, you know, I'm making myself look good by being active and like being a part of the LinkedIn community and part of my connections by being active and sharing my content, as well as reading different articles, liking other people's things, liking when they have like a work anniversary or a birthday, you know, like just being active. And the great thing about LinkedIn is their LinkedIn learning videos. And then when you watch a whole video, you get like a certificate on your profile, and then people can see that you watched said video for said thing, okay? And the thing about them, they're so good. I think I did like 10, I finished 10 programs, and they can vary. They could be like an hour long, they could be like 5 hours long. And you could just search up all these different things that you're interested in and like watch. Like I watched things that I don't know a whole lot about and I wanted to learn. Like SEO, marketing, social media marketing, like things like that will help me. Because it's such a good source of information. And after you cancel, like say you got it and then you cancel it tomorrow, you'll still have that for the 30 days, and then just keep watching those videos. Such a good source, and I don't have it anymore. Otherwise I'd be watching all those videos again. But like if you're trying to learn things like that, like programs and things like that, it's not free. Like you gotta pay for that kind of stuff. So the LinkedIn Premium learning videos were such a good source of information. So I really recommend getting on that. The other thing I wrote down here is to make an art Instagram. You could use Behance, Pinterest, whatever social media that you want to use to share your stuff out there, like market yourself out there. Employers want to see that not only that you're creating stuff, that people are actually engaging with what you're making. You know, like they want someone on their team that understands how social media works, that understands different trends. And honestly, the whole thing about social media is it's a numbers game. It's honestly, it's all about numbers, you know, like if you want to use it for self-gratification, like that's totally fine, like that's your own business. But it's like if you get a certain amount of like activity and like engagement, and the algorithms are crazy basically. But the more people are engaged, the more people that like your content, the more of your followers will actually see it. I mean, you all probably know that by now, that like just because you posted something on Instagram doesn't mean your 1,000 followers are gonna see it. So you have to have a really strong engagement in order for people to just see your stuff. Like marketing on social media is difficult now. It's not as easy as it once was circa 2010. I sound kind of old for saying that, I guess, but you know, it's different, you know what I mean? So I try my best to be engaged in social media, engaged on Instagram and stuff like that, because it's just a numbers game, you know what I mean? Like, just because I get set amount of likes on something doesn't mean it makes me like feel super great about myself. It's like the content. It's just you need numbers in order for people to be more likely to see it based on how Instagram's doing their algorithms right now. So basically that tip was to be active on social media and be engaged, share your stuff, because that's really important that you share it, that you follow other people, and really get it out there, get the full part, you know, like just share your content and see other people's content, interact with people. Like that is so helpful. I'm on my art Instagram more than I am on my main Instagram, because I kind of don't care about my main Instagram anymore, because I don't know how to explain it. I care more about my art right now than like my selfies basically. As I said earlier, I don't really like putting myself out there right now, you know? Yeah, I had to turn my ISO up. I think my lighting is off because it's starting to get dark outside because it's winter and it gets dark really friggin' quick, okay? But I'm almost done, guys. I'm almost done. Another one I wrote down was to stay on trends. Like I was just saying, algorithms change all of the time. Art trends, design trends change all of the time. I think like Pantone, the Pantone purple or whatever is like 2018's color. Things like that, like hipster designs are really popular. What like fonts are popular? What are people using? On LinkedIn, I'm a part of like a graphic design group, and someone posted this logo that they used and they just wanted some feedback on it, and it was for like a hospital or something like that, and they did a really complicated design. And I remember reading one thing that people said was that the logo was too complicated and that like logos aren't made like that anymore, but it's going to age and it's not going to carry on, it's not going to progress, you know what I mean? Like it's just 10 years are going to come around and that's going to look like an old logo, so it's not going to evolve efficiently is basically what I'm trying to say. So stay on trends, you know what's different. Adobe changes their program all of the time. The user interface and things like that for 2017 in October changed a whole lot. So make sure you're up to date on that. Make sure you're updating your programs. Make sure that you're watching videos on, you know, the different changes so you can learn. So you could use all of the different bells and whistles, you know, so to speak. This last one was make a resume and don't go crazy with it. Which is something that I had a difficult time with, is where my resume was really crazy, and so that will put people off. So make sure it's like a black and white kind of resume, but like, you know, spice it up a little bit. You're a designer, you know? So those are all the tips I had written in my sketchbook with really badly written handwriting. If you have any other questions, you can ask them down below. Like I said earlier, I am not a professional by any means. I've just graduated. I have like 2 years of experience. I'm not a big deal at all whatsoever. I'm on the same journey that you guys are on. But if you have any questions, maybe I can help you out with them. Maybe someone else who's watching this video can help you out. If you have any tips or anything like that and you want to share to people who are also trying to learn, go ahead and put them down below. If you know any like good videos to watch, if you do good videos, put it down below. There's something in my eyeball. I always like looking at different videos on illustration, design, anything like that. Like I'm always trying to watch and learn so much. In the next video that I make, I want to do a YouTuber shout out for smaller YouTubers that are going to be affected by the demonetization. So if you have a YouTube channel, if you know another YouTuber, comment them down below and I might pick them to do like a smaller YouTuber like shout out kind of thing, because like if we're all working hard and we're not like bots and stuff like that, like we don't deserve to lose our partnership, to lose our monetization. Because like, you know, we all work really hard. It's not for the money, it's not for the numbers or stuff like that, but it feels good to know that you're working and you'll eventually hit that threshold. So I think that's all I'm going to say. Shameless self-promotion on my Redbubble. I do designs and you can get them on shirts and stickers and pillowcases and all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in that, the link is down below, as well as all my other social media, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. And you guys can follow me on there. I will be making more videos, hopefully if I can put my little self out there, because I am so scared of putting myself out there now. Goodbye.